for anybody to find people who just are not familiar with the contract they signed just 2-3 years ago. They're just not aware.
I mean, I represent folks pro bono through the Save the Dream program, and folks they're complicated transactions. They're a complicated transaction for an attorney when they buy a house, and it's, they're really hard for folks to remember, certainly 3 years later, and it was hard for them to understand at the time when they did the transaction.
So, Alfred, they have to educate themselves as to what they've signed?
Without a doubt, because normally when people buy homes, they don't care about those terms. When you buy a home, it's because you trust the individual that your realtor, you trust your mortgage broker, you trust the bank, you trust these individuals, and usually that's okay. You have good reason to. But you don't care about the details of the mortgage because you know what the payment is, you know what the interest rate is. You know whether or not there's escrow in the mortgage, whether your taxes and insurances are going to be paid with the payment. That's pretty much it. Give me the keys to the property, and I'm done. And that's just the way it is. So most folks don't really understand that when they were told they had a fixed rate mortgage, it was only fixed for 2 years, or maybe as much as 15 years, but it was not fixed for the entire 30-year term. Sometimes it's a situation where you're being manipulated a little, but sometimes it's a situation where the information is there, you just didn't pay real close attention. And the real reality there is sometimes people will pay more attention to smaller things like their car. Sometimes people do more research for the car they buy than they do for the mortgage they buy. And the education process has got to be expanded to let people know that this is very important. This is very significant. You have to stop, make it the center point of your activities when you're about to buy a house, and make sure you know what you're doing. Because if you don't, chances are at some point you will wish that you had taken the time to get advice, to consult some experts, to really give it the time and attention that it was due. And I see that all the time, and I know that Jim does.
It's a common occurrence, just briefly.
It is. I think the other thing that we need to understand is that the marketplace out there, what is available to purchase homes, has changed dramatically. It's much more, some will tell you sophisticated, others will tell you, difficult to understand at the very least. You used to go, you get a mortgage, and you'd pay religiously for the term, whether that was 20 or 30 years, and then you owned your home. The products that are available now, legitimate business products, are much more sophisticated and complicated. And so the basic understanding that most of us have about what a mortgage is and how it functions is not current.
There is help available here, and people are asking themselves, what can you do when you can't pay the mortgage? There is help right here, available in the Miami Valley, and help you guide you through this process, possibly save your home from foreclosure. WHIO Radio's Jim Barrett shows us who can help you, where to get started.
This is where people can turn for free help 24 hours a day. The United Way in Dayton. They run the 211 HelpLink service. Just call 211 to reach an operator here. It's toll-free, and anyone can call to find out what they should do when they're having trouble with their mortgage.
We serve 3 counties, Montgomery, Greene, and Preble counties. However, there's a lot of other people in the area in Clark County, Warren County, that also get our phone number and call us. So the first thing we need to know is where you live at in order for us to make appropriate referrals. Secondly, be willing to share information with our staff. Don't be embarrassed. All the information that you share with our staff is confidential. We're going to gather enough information in order to make the appropriate referrals to the agencies. And also, with the caller's permission, we'll call them back within a week or so to find out if the agencies we refer them to are helpful.
Since the mortgage crisis started here, calls to the 211 HelpLink Center have gone up 10% each year. The people at the same number can provide you with other social service help like food, shelter, and trouble with utility bills.